These are devastating and truly horrific allegations.
A secret buried inside the palace for more than 40 years was never supposed to breathe again, but according to this explosive, dramatic storyline, one forgotten document was enough to drag Camilla straight back toward a past connected to Princess Diana, and Catherine was the person who accidentally found it. What looked like an ordinary piece of medical history suddenly became the thread capable of unraveling everything. Catherine was reportedly sorting through Prince William's archived photographs and personal files when an old pregnancy examination record appeared among them, yellowed by time yet unmistakably carrying the name Princess Diana. At first, Catherine apparently believed there was nothing sinister about it. Princess Diana had been pregnant with Prince William, so why would an old medical paper seem suspicious? Then Catherine noticed the date, and that was where the entire story changed. The document was dated 1 year after Prince William's birth. Catherine examined it again. William had already been born. The timeline did not fit. The paper did not comfortably match the official history surrounding Diana, and Catherine began wondering something even more disturbing. Had somebody deliberately hidden this record inside William's private archive because they wanted Catherine to find it? Instead of immediately creating a palace scandal, Catherine stayed silent. No announcement, no confrontation, no warning. Catherine quietly began investigating every faint address, every contact detail, and every clue printed on the mysterious paper. That trail supposedly led Catherine to an elderly doctor who had been working at the hospital decades earlier. Catherine went to meet the doctor privately, carrying a copy of the strange document and demanding answers about Princess Diana. The reaction described in the storyline was anything but reassuring. The doctor became visibly nervous when Catherine asked why a pregnancy examination bearing Princess Diana's name existed from a period 1 year after William was born. The doctor would only confirm that Diana had arrived at the hospital in severe physical and psychological exhaustion, accompanied by a personal attendant. Catherine pushed harder because the document clearly concerned pregnancy testing. Then came the detail that transformed suspicion into something far darker. The doctor said Mrs. Camilla had also been at that hospital. Catherine immediately wanted to know whether Mrs. Camilla had anything to do with Diana's condition. But the doctor suddenly retreated behind an alleged oath of silence involving Mrs. Camilla. That refusal spoke louder than an easy answer. Catherine had walked into the meeting carrying a medical mystery. Catherine left facing a potential 40-year palace secret involving Camilla. And before Catherine could disappear unnoticed, photographs of the visit leaked online. Suddenly, the private investigation was no longer completely private, and Camilla, according to the storyline, realized Catherine was getting dangerously close. The leaked photographs supposedly dragged Camilla back to 1983, when Diana was struggling under crushing pressure surrounding royal life and the relationship between Prince Charles and Camilla. The account claims Diana entered such a fragile psychological condition that Diana developed symptoms described as pseudocyesis, or phantom pregnancy. For Diana, the imagined pregnancy represented hope that Charles might remain beside Diana and that the marriage could somehow survive. But after Diana collapsed from exhaustion and was rushed to hospital, doctors allegedly revealed there was no pregnancy. Then came the cruel coincidence at the center of this entire story. Camilla was allegedly inside the same medical facility. Diana saw Camilla. Years of pain exploded at once, and Diana blamed Camilla for destroying the family and pushing Diana toward despair. What followed, according to the transcript's dramatic account, was a furious confrontation. Diana lashed out verbally. Camilla allegedly answered with brutal insults. Then Camilla allegedly shoved Diana hard enough for Diana to fall and lose consciousness. And that confrontation, the storyline insists, had witnesses. The doctor had seen it. Diana's attendant had seen it. Camilla allegedly understood immediately what could happen if the incident escaped those hospital walls, so Camilla supposedly moved fast, using benefits and pressure against the doctor while threatening the attendant into silence. Diana also remained silent, terrified that Charles might dismiss Diana's account and humiliate Diana over the phantom pregnancy. Years passed. The secret stayed buried. But Catherine had now found the paper. Catherine had found the doctor, and Catherine had unknowingly opened a door Camilla desperately wanted locked forever. Then, just when Catherine needed another piece of evidence, an unexpected figure emerged, Camilla's former close personal servant, carrying decades of resentment, guilt, and knowledge. After years of alleged exploitation by Camilla, the servant secretly contacted Catherine and requested a private meeting. And what the servant was preparing to reveal would turn Catherine's suspicious document into something far more dangerous. Because this time, Catherine was about to hear the story from somebody claiming to have witnessed the buried events herself. The former servant stepped into Catherine's secret investigation carrying a confession capable of turning 40 years of whispers into a palace earthquake. Before Catherine, the woman claimed years under Camilla had meant pressure, questionable orders, and fear until silence became impossible. Catherine listened as the servant described the 1983 hospital confrontation, insisting Diana had been insulted assaulted and pushed by Camilla. The servant said Camilla threatened her afterward, forcing silence to protect her position and safety. Catherine then asked how Diana's pregnancy record had appeared inside Prince William's private folder. The answer was staggering. The servant said she preserved a copy and, after deciding to resign from Camilla, arranged for an acquaintance to place it where Catherine would discover it. Catherine asked whether the testimony was voluntary and whether the servant would repeat it publicly. The answer was yes. The servant said the years of intimidation were over and promised Catherine full cooperation, evidence, and testimony concerning the hospital incident. That cooperation pushed Camilla into panic. Once Camilla learned Catherine had reached the elderly doctor, Camilla allegedly pressured him until he considered disappearing for safety. Camilla repeatedly tried to reach the former servant, but the woman avoided Camilla until Catherine helped prepare a countermove. When Camilla finally telephoned, the servant pretended to be frightened while secretly recording. Camilla immediately demanded to know why she had been avoided and warned that Catherine's visit to the doctor was dangerous. Camilla ordered the servant never to speak about the hospital incident or the old document. Following Catherine's plan, the servant acted nervous and suggested Catherine was asking questions. That bait worked. Camilla allegedly erupted, declaring that Diana's phantom pregnancy, the confrontation, and the document had to remain buried forever. Camilla warned that neither Catherine nor anyone else could hear a word. When the servant cautiously mentioned the doctor and the allegation that Camilla had pushed the princess, Camilla reportedly snapped that the doctor had already been pressured and would have to disappear. Then came the statement Catherine needed most. Camilla allegedly justified pushing Diana and warned the servant that betrayal would bring consequences. The call ended, but Catherine knew the recording remained, and Catherine possessed the leverage the investigation had lacked. Now, Catherine possessed the document, witness cooperation, and what the storyline presents as Camilla's own recorded admissions. Camilla was cornered by Diana's past. Catherine immediately requested an extraordinary royal council meeting. Before the assembled council, Catherine presented the evidence concerning Diana and played the threatening call. Camilla's recorded voice allegedly filled the room with threats involving the doctor, the servant, Catherine, and Diana. Catherine then argued that the 1983 incident, Diana's phantom pregnancy, the physical confrontation, and decades of enforced silence had damaged both Diana and the royal institution. With the recording playing, Camilla reportedly collapsed into tears. Camilla pleaded for forgiveness, saying Camilla had lost control in the past and begging not to lose everything. But Catherine had pushed the matter beyond private apology. The elderly doctor and former servant were summoned, supporting the dossier Catherine had presented. The royal council then delivered the consequence that transformed the 40-year secret into a full institutional crisis. Camilla's public duties were suspended while a review of relevant titles was initiated. According to the storyline, Catherine took an obscure document connected to William, followed the trail through Diana's hidden medical history, survived Camilla's alleged witness intimidation, and brought the affair into the open. News of the council decision triggered sympathy for Diana and fierce condemnation of Camilla. Yet even after the verdict, the darkest question remained. If Catherine could uncover this much from one document planted inside William's archive, what else might still be buried? What other secrets could remain behind palace doors? And how far might Camilla have gone to make certain Catherine never found them? The silence that once protected the old order had finally cracked, but the mystery surrounding Diana suddenly felt larger than ever.